Alrighty, time for the stretches. So the first one is basically a simple glute stretch. All you're gonna do is take your right leg, place it over your left. Your left leg is gonna be straight, and then you pull your knee to your chest, and you should feel a good stretch in the glutes. You always start off with the glutes because it's one of the largest parts of your posterior chain, so you gotta stretch it out nicely, because stretching it out is basically gonna loosen up a lot of nerves and the muscles, which is basically going to give you a lot more comfort. Second stretch is the pigeon stretch. Now this one is a lot more complicated. You might struggle at first, but basically try and keep your left leg at an angle, keep your right leg straight, and then basically push down on it. This one is a tough one at first, but it's a fantastic stretch for basically stretching out the glutes and the hip. Great for flexibility. The third stretch is basically you're gonna lie on your back. You're gonna keep your left leg up, bent in a 90-degree angle, and you're gonna keep your right leg over it. Basically you're gonna pull back and you're gonna feel a stretch in your glute. Okay, for the hamstrings, first one, if you don't have a resistance band, it's simple, just get a towel. But basically you're gonna keep your left leg stretched out straight, keep your body as straight as possible. You can lift your head up, keep your right leg up straight, and you pull down on your toes, and you should feel a fantastic stretch in the hamstrings. Loosening up the hamstrings, it's one of the 3 key muscles to prevent or to deal with Osgood-schlatters pain. Second one is you're going to touch your toes. So all you're going to do is stretch out your left leg, keep your right leg bent, and touch your toes. And then of course, with every stretch here, you must go on both legs. So if you only see a stretch with one leg, just know, do the other one as well. Okay, now for the quads, the first one, you're just going to keep your back straight, your legs straight in line, and you're going to lift your right leg up to your glute, and you're going to keep your left leg out in a 90-degree angle. You can lift your arm up as well, but that requires better balance. But if you're able to do it, you're free to do it. But this is a great stretch to stretch out that quad as well as the hip flexors, and that will give you a lot of pain-free living from the Osgood-schlatters bump. And the second one is basically you're going to bend your right leg, you're going to stretch out your left leg, lean back, and this stretches the outside of the quad. Now that's a muscle that hardly gets stretched, so it will be great to stretch it out, because you want to loosen all of the muscles in the quad to give you maximum pain relief and comfort. Okay, now moving on to the supplementary stretches. Basically these, as you can see on the screen, improve your posture and flexibility, and they're going to help your body all around. So the first one you're going to start off with is a simple groin stretch. It's called the frog. You're just going to be on your toes, keep your back as straight as possible, and stretch out your legs as much as possible with your elbows. Second one is you're going to keep your left leg bent and your right leg out, keep your back straight. This one is a simple hip flexor stretch. Keep your left leg in a 90-degree angle, keep your right leg and your body in line, and you push down, and you should feel a stretch in the hip flexors. Switch to your right leg and just do the complete opposite of what I've said before, just a little vice versa over there. Once you move on from that, you go into the left leg of the same stretch that was shown before, the hip flexor stretch, and when you'll be doing both legs. Now this one looks a bit awkward, so you might get a few stares in the gym, but it definitely helps you to stretch out that groin area. This is just the higher variant, you can say. You're just not lying down, or your body's not in a prone position, your body's more up. And the last one is the frog, but a seated frog. So all you're going to do is the same thing, and you're just going to stretch. You're going to push your knees apart as much as possible, and that hits your groin a lot. It's going to stretch it out. Okay, moving on to the obliques now. This is a simple stretch. You're going to keep your knee down. Your opposite arm is going to be keeping you balanced. Your other leg is going to be stretched out, and your right arm is going to come up, and that's going to give you a good stretch in the obliques. Second stretch is your groin again and your hip. This time you'll be using a resistance band or towel. This is a tough one, so don't overstretch it first. Gradually build up into the stretch. Once you're done with that side, you're going to move on to the opposite, and this one stretches out the glute and the hip. These are more of advanced stretches, so if you're not used to the other ones, I'd suggest getting used to those first, and then you move into this one. This is just the right leg, same thing. You're going to keep your leg as straight as possible while the other leg remains flat, and you're going to keep your back straight, and that'll give you a nice stretch in a hip and a glute. This stretch improves flexibility as well as mobility in the hip, glute and groin areas, and that's going to give you much better posture and better control over your body, better balance as well. All that is going to help you to have less pain in that area, the knee area that's related to Osgood-schlatters. Okay, the last stretch is basically, it's going to be like the hip flexor stretch, except that your left arm is going to touch the ground and your right arm is going to be outstretched. This stretches the obliques. Last stretch is stretching out your lower back. Keep your back as straight as possible. Throw your legs over and keep your legs as straight as possible, and you should feel a good stretch in your lower back. Moving on to the calves. I actually have no calf stretch, but the shin stretch is basically you're going to lie on your knees, keep your legs or your feet flat, and you're going to feel a nice stretch in your shins. For a calf stretch, basically all you can do is touch your toes. Basically touch your toes and pull your foot up, and you'll feel a nice stretch in your calf. Once again, these are supplementary areas, as in they're not directly involved with Osgood-schlatters pain, but they will help to keep them flexible, as in they will improve your overall posture. All you got to do here is keep your knee or your leg bent, keep your back as straight as possible, and stretch out your oblique. And that's basically all of the stretches that I can recommend. Of course, there's some other ones that you can do with resistance bands and all of that, but those are the ones I feel are the most beneficial, that have helped me. And if you ever need any more help, all you can do is literally just type stretches for the glutes on Google, stretches for hamstrings, stretches for quads, and literally they'll give you a whole lot of results. So these are just my go-to stretches that I enjoy doing, that have helped me, you know, with my pain and my stiffness from Osgood-schlatters. So these are the ones that I recommend. If you want to do more, or if you want to do others that you feel are a bit easier, Google is your friend. Go and search there and you'll find everything that you need. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you with your Osgood-schlatters pain, because I can see that from the comments a lot of you guys are struggling with the pain, and with these stretches definitely they will give you relief in terms of loosening up the muscles so that you have less pain. And also, if you can afford a foam roller, I would definitely recommend foam rolling as well. So you can foam roll as a warm-up for your stretches, to get the muscles basically warmed up so you can stretch more effectively. That will also help you deal with the pain, because that's deep tissue massage, whereas stretching is sort of not as deep as that. So that is like going for basically it's like self massage. So I would definitely recommend you foam rolling. And if you don't have a foam roller, something like a tennis ball will do. But that'll loosen up the muscles fantastically well. And adding the stretches to that will definitely help you. If you can't afford the foam roller, also doing stuff like having like a warm bath, for example, or a warm shower, that'll loosen up the muscles nicely so that by the time you stretch, you can go to deeper ranges of motion. Don't ever stretch when you just cold. Like for example, if you just woke up, don't start doing static stretching immediately because your muscles aren't warmed up for that. So there's an increased chance that you could injure yourself. So make sure that you just do some light movements or something like a warm bath or a warm shower just to loosen up the muscles so that it's easier to stretch and get into deeper ranges of motion. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helps you with your Osgood-schlatters pain. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Comment below on your experiences or if there's anything you want to know. Subscribe if you like what I'm putting out, and I'll see you guys soon.